Hi, it's Laura with Following the Paper Trail, and it is the 5th day of Christmas Projects 2011. And today I have a really fun, cute project to show you. I have made a Luminaria stocking holder out of one of the Graphic 45 altered art boxes. Here's one of the larger ones. I didn't have any wrapped up smaller ones still. But those are from Graphic 45. Here is the size that I actually used on this project. It's about 5 inches by 5 inches and a little less than 2 inches deep. Cool little boxes. They open up. Then they have a accordion mini album inside that you can go ahead and decorate. Or you can do stuff like I do. Take a box and turn it into something different. So how I made this, in order to get it so that the window in the center was open and clear, this window right here, what I did, I'm going to move this out of the way just a little bit. What I've done, actually I'm going to tip this down. There, that works. So in order to have this window open, I have to remove part of this one back behind. So then we have this open cavity inside to put some of the battery operated little votive candles inside. Now what you need to do is you're going to measure from this fold over on this side up an inch. As you can see right there, that's the magnet, and here's the other side of it that holds the box closed. So you don't want to cut that magnet off, so you're not going to want to cut it off right at the joint, but come over an inch, and that way it will clear the line of, or you can just go ahead and mark that line and make sure that you're cutting it to this side of it so that it leaves the window section open completely, so you'll be taking this portion off. What you will do next is go ahead and put some adhesive on here to hold that down. Once this part's cut off, you're going to do the same thing here on the base and hold that up so that inside, like this one, as you can see it's got that little 1-inch lip, but you don't want it flopping open. Same here at the top. I've got it hooked down so that it's closed. I then took some white of the Distress Stain, made it really easy to just give a whitewash to the edges. So all the edges, all the corners, all the way around, I just did a whitewash with the white Distress Stain just to give it a little bit of color. You could obviously do it in another color if you wanted it in another color as well. And then what I did is I cut paper to cover all the surfaces. This is from Christmas Emporium from Graphic 45, these papers are. So I've covered all of that. I've also cut a window out of a couple of pattern papers. One of them, I punched it with Martha Stewart's ivy leaves. So that one was a 5-inch square, because for the math to work, to use both the corner and the edge trimmers, the edge punches with Martha Stewart, it needs to fall on certain dimensions, and the 5-inch dimension work perfectly. I then cut the little black frame a little bit smaller. Now I didn't attach these just yet because I wanted to fill in my window. And for the window, you're going to have several layers. You're going to have a plain layer of vellum, just plain white vellum. And these I've cut 3.5-inch square, fits behind, or actually in front of the window perfectly. I then have another 3.5-inch one that I have again punched with some Martha Stewart punch. Now this is one of these punches that hooks together with magnets, and then you can do an all-over pattern with this snowflake. It is so cool, and you can punch anywhere on the page. And then it just hooks down with a, it kind of grabs it really fast, so be aware. Really strong magnet. But you could use pretty much any punch that you wanted to give yourself that background. So that was just kind of to give an all-over background pattern, so I punched 4 of those. I then have a punched snowflake. You could also use a die-cut snowflake, and that's in white. And that's, again, with a Martha Stewart punch. This is my favorite Martha Stewart snowflake punch. I love it. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name. I'll have to look it up. So I have the snowflake on in front of those 2 pieces of vellum. And then I have just a piece of acetate transparency that you can get at office supply stores. Also, a lot of your packaging has clear acetate. And this is only a 3.5 inch square. Chances are, check your packaging. You'll probably be able to snag a piece from that. And that's going to sandwich those layers all together. Each of these layers are going to be attached over this window so that you can kind of see back behind it. See if I can get in front of the light there. So I just attached those down. You can use glue or adhesive. I used score tape to hook them down. So I hooked those layers all down to the front of the box. And then once I had those layers on, I then attached my paper layers to frame it out. Then I attached it to my hook for my stocking holder. And I managed to find these at a store called Fred Meyer's here locally, which is basically, it's groceries and housewares and books, clothes. It's one of those kind of got a little bit of everything kind of stores. And I managed to find these hooks that had nothing on the top. Perfect! So you should be able to find these in places that carry the hooks. So that then I just glued it on to that hook thing. But you could also just have these boxes sitting on the mantle. I've added some jingle bells and a silk poinsettia at the top. And then inside I put in 3 of these electric or battery operated votive candles. Love these things because with my kids and my number of pets, don't need actual flame. And the beauty of it is they're inside and you leave this so that you can open it up so then you can turn them off when it's time to turn them off. It's a little bit light here in my studio so it doesn't shine up quite as well, but it looks really pretty at night. So it makes a really, really pretty piece to go on your mantle. So if you need stocking holders or you just want a fun little luminaria for your mantelpiece, this is a cool way to go using one of the Graphic 45 altered art boxes and a few punches, die cuts, whatever you want to use with some vellum and acetate. Super fast, super easy, something you could actually do with the kids as well. Quick, fast. That's what we're looking for this time of year, isn't it? So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. And later on today, I'm actually going to be posting the 6th day of Christmas. So keep an eye on out for that one. And we'll see you soon. I can't talk today. Thanks a bunch.